Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, my Biafran people, how on a day? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency, Oyendo Mazenam the Kano. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra, USB, His Excellency, ESN, Ekpa, Simon Njoku, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra has come, in your hands Biafra will be safe, and in your hands, now that Biafra has come, the people of Biafra will rejoice. When I say the people, I mean the men, the women, the children, the old, the young, the sick, the mild, the poor, the gentle, the meek, the civilized and the uncivilized, those born in Biafra and those born in the bite of Biafra. We shall all come together under one voice, under one accord, under one union, under one government, and under one God, to scream for Hallelujah Day, the day that the God of Biafra has made. Fellow Biafrans, I took my time to break down that introduction word for word, because sometimes when I speak on, with pace, some people may not understand or comprehend what I'm saying. That's like a prayer. I was given the rema, the revelation that in the books of Psalm, most of you that read the book of Psalm, those things you are reading, they are songs. They're actually songs. But some people will not know this. So my introduction, I keep telling you, whatever I say, are deliberate. Every word I've been using, I think since Obatobe was held, something has come into me. That every word I use now, they are precise and they are deliberate. So today, my people, I want to speak on this man here, Elias Gerasoulis, a man who I believe was once the lobby of, of Biafra when Obatobe was here with us. A man who came by himself. He was the one that found us, which is strange. When you are going for a service, it is for you to go and look for a service, to look for a contractor, to look for a supplier. You do a bidding, then the person with the best, information or skills or services will now win that contract. But in the case of this man here, Elias Gerasoulis, he was the one that said he went to the internet. He was browsing and he saw Biafra Republic Government in exile. He saw Simon Ekpa was the Prime Minister. And he contacted us via the email inquiry he saw on the website. It's a strange one because I keep saying this. If you are into supply chain management, you will know that it is better for the business to seek a contractor, not a contractor coming to you to sell you a snake oil, a salesman coming to tell you those things that you want. If it's what you need, it's for you to go out and seek 3 or 4 different contractors, check their resume, and choose the best that can meet your needs, not what you want. But in this guy's case, he came to us. I will leave that. Now, I believe on the 15th or 16th of this month, May, we heard about Simon Ekpa being charged by Finland. And I took my time because I said, if Elias Gerasoulis is really the lobbyist as he claimed for Biafra and Simon Ekpa, and that there is a legal team guy who works with him for Simon Ekpa, then I expected him and his lobby firm to be very strong in responding and condemning the act of Finland. Fellow Biafrans, I kept my eyes on the activities of Elias Gerasoulis since the 16th of May. He did nothing about it. There was no video about Simon Ekpa being charged in Finland by the Finnish government. There was nothing written on this man's page. The so-called, I'll use the word so-called there, lobby team of Biafra and Simon Ekpa. The only thing he did, I will show you now, was to retweet a so-called publication or press briefing given by Brgie. So this is the Twitter page of Elias Gerasoulis. I will show you the tweet he made about the so-called press briefing that was given by Brgie and the rest of them. And then I will come back to break down this video he made just 2 days ago. He came back to lecturing the Biafrans. I warned him in his previous 2 videos. I gave him the water. I cautioned him that when he's speaking to us, when he's addressing Biafrans, he must address us with respect. And he must stick to the scope of the contract we gave him. If he's still honoring the contract by Obatobi, where he gets $10,000 a month, if he's still honoring it pro bono or whatever, I don't care. He must stick based on the scope of the contract. What do I mean by scope? Because sometimes people are not into project management. The scope I mean, for example, in his own case, is for him to be in Washington, be an eye to the Biafrans in Washington, be an advocate for the Biafrans in the Washington, lobby on behalf of Biafrans in Washington, and discuss with those, in Washington, the who is who in Washington. That is the scope, to lobby, to influence them, to cajole them, to entice them, to bring to their attention the plight of the Biafrans in Washington. In all I said, I referred to Washington, Washington, Washington. It means the scope of this man's job as a lobbyist for the Biafrans is around Washington, D.C. Fellow Bolivians, fellow Biafrans, follow who know road. I don't make mistakes. I am deliberate with my words. But suddenly we have noticed this man is making a video educating or trying to address the Biafrans. He is trying to tell us our culture, and he's trying to sell snow to the Eskimo by doing that. He has gone beyond the scope of his contract. He is now addressing 80 million Biafrans. Because of that, I will break down this video you are seeing here because he did it 2 days ago. I will break it down. But for now, let me take you back. Let's go back to the 16th of May when Finland said, okay, they've now done all their investigation against Simon Ekpa and they are going to bring up charges against him. Let's go back there. And I'll show you that this man did nothing. On his timeline, the timeline you are seeing here, I'll take you there now. Watch this. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now, boom. What you are seeing here in the timeline of Elias Gerasoulis was him saying breaking. This was on the 17th of May. He said breaking. And all he did was to forward the message, the press briefing by the so-called Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the Biafra Republic government in exile. I will not read this. I want you all to go and do your research. All what they were saying was, oh, they heard Simon Ekpa has been charged in Finland and they were beating about the bush. They did not speak directly to Finland to let go Simon Ekpa. Not in the first paragraph, not in the second paragraph, not in the third paragraph. It is in the last paragraph. They now said Simon Ekpa is not Simon Ekpa and every other Biafrans are not guilty. Whatever we are doing for our freedom. They did not specifically speak to Finland, address them that charging Simon Ekpa is a misnomer. It is repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. They didn't say that. They only, perambulated and beat about the bush, went around, and at the end, the last sentence, they now said Simon Ekpa and every other Biafrans are not guilty. But they didn't specify that Simon Ekpa was being charged as a terrorist. That was the only tweet done by Mr. Elias Gerasoulis. His biggest opportunity to make a video and address Finland, he didn't do it. But when it comes to making a video to discuss to the Biafrans, he's so happy to do it. But when Finland, a white country, charged Simon Ekpa with terrorism, this man had the opportunity. If he was genuine, if he was working for Simon Ekpa, if he was the lobby of Biafra, it was his biggest chance to make a video and address Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland, the same way we've been doing every day. Go and check my timeline. I've been addressing Alexander Stubb, man for man. But this man did not do that. All he did was retweet a press briefing by the so-called Biafra Republic government in exile. I begin to wonder that if somebody is your lobby in America, God's own country, the strongest country in the world, the number one country in the world, the president is the number one president of the world, and the citizens of America are the number one citizens of the world. To call a spade, that's the way it is in the League of Nations. So I expected this man, who claimed to be a lobbyist for Biafra and Simon Ekpa, to at least make a video. If you have done 2 videos educating the Biafrans, I expected you to make a video to address Finland, but you did not do it. That was when I saw foul play, and I saw something that was mischievous by the actions and inactions of Elias Gerasoulis. Fellow Biafrans, I was now wondering what was going on. Instead, he was retweeting, and retweeting. That was what he was doing. Until 2 days ago, where he now made a video to educate Biafrans about the so-called 3 R's. Redeclaration, restoration, and recognition. When it comes to the Biafrans, he is able to make videos. But when it comes to addressing Finland, he said nothing about it. So how can you tell me he's got the interest of Simon Ekpa, but he has said nothing to the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb? Lord have mercy. My people, this is how you fish out those who are not for you. This is how you fish out those who are not for you. It's like your neighbor, that every day your parents are outside, they give them, neighbor, good morning, my neighbor, sir, good morning. But suddenly your parents passed away, and your neighbor did not come to the wake keep or the burial. You will know that neighbor was just doing eye service all the years your parents were in this world. Because Finland made a statement that they were charging Simon Ekpa. And the lobbyist, the one who claimed to be the lobbyist of Simon Ekpa, said nothing about it. Hey, God have mercy. At this point, I want to break down this video because I want him to be careful. I've got my eyes on this man. A man who is trying to educate the Biafrans of our history and culture. Very, very strange. It's like me trying to speak to the people of Greece, because he's a Greek. Me trying to speak to the people of Greece and educating the people of Greece about their Greek culture, Zeus and the rest of them. It makes no sense. So at this point, fellow Biafrans, sit back and relax as I break down the video done by Elias Gerasoulis. The theme was, he said, here is my latest video on Biafrans. I explained the 3R to achieve Biafra: redeclaration, restoration, and recognition. Redeclaration, restoration, and recognition. So fellow Biafrans, if you are ready, follow me in this one as we break down this video. Let's go there. Watch this.
Good day, fellow Biafrans. This is Elias Gerasoulis, the international lobbyist for the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, represented by His Excellency, Acting Prime Minister Akachukwu. It has been a while. Sorry, it's taken a bit for me to do another video. I've been very busy the past month, but I'm returning to doing my videos and will be doing so with more frequency. I think this episode will be one that will be extremely helpful for all of you. And this episode will be focused on an important topic, which is explaining or clarifying the roadmap to Biafra. One of the major issues that I realized that I anticipated before the convention in Finland, and we saw in the aftermath of the convention, is that unfortunately there was not a complete understanding amongst some Biafrans of the purpose of the convention, understanding what is the United States of Biafra, and understanding what the Biafra government is doing. I had concerns even before the November 29th to December 2nd convention in Finland. And I expressed these to Simon at the time, that some Biafrans really didn't understand the meaning of December 2nd or United States of Biafra, or the processes that the Biafra government was doing, and that the Biafra government needed to do more to explain that process to Biafrans. And Simon did, in his speeches and such, touch upon some of these topics, but it was clear that many still lacked understanding. For example, after the convention, I received some very angry messages that showed this lack of understanding. Some Biafrans attacking me, saying, "Oh, don't you know we're a nation now?" Even some attacking me, saying, "Don't you know we're a government now?" Which again doesn't make any sense. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile was created in the spring of 2023. So are those who were saying that the Biafra government before the convention wasn't a government? So it shows that there's a complete lacking of understanding.
Hold it there. A lot of mercy. This is the problem. He just said here that what we did in Finland means nothing. It was a process. And right now we don't have a government and all that stuff. We don't even have a country. That's what he's saying now. He's trying to interpret all what we've been hearing from the cabinet of Obatobie. He forgot that we voted, 50 million Biafrans voted for Biafra to be redeclared. When it comes to government in exile, that's been there way back from the days after the advent of autopilot. We moved into Biafra Republic government in exile. We went for a convention in Helsinki, Finland. And afterwards, we had to generate some more documents. And we started our voting. We were voting. People were voting at home and abroad. We came with the constitution. And on the 29th of November 2024, Biafra was redeclared. The next stage is to implement Biafra in Biafra land. To read, oh my God, have mercy. But now when you leave it to this guy here, he's telling you, no, we don't have a government. We don't have a nation yet. That what we should be looking up to is Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Fellow Biafrans, you knew there was a time we were down with the IPOB autopilot. And when Biafra went into autopilot, it gave birth to something new, IPOB autopilot. And those who blackmailed Nnamdi Kanu, we refer to them as what? IPOB Nigeria Limited. But something happened. At the end, when we went with the name IPOB autopilot, when we went to Helsinki, Finland, in 2023, I believe, we now created or officially gave birth to the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And automatically, IPOB autopilot ceased to exist. In that one, it was an automatic turnaround. It became a defunct organization. Yes, some miscreants, some naysayers, they still want to refer to us as IPOB autopilot till this day. I know that. But we saw what happened in Helsinki, Finland. IPOB autopilot ceased to exist when we redeclared Biafra Republic Government in Exile, when we established the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. That was a milestone. And within that government, they all worked very well. They did their job. And at the end, we went to Lati. Before we went to Lati, there was election. People, human beings, voted for being in Biafra or to choose to remain in Nigeria. We voted. The outcome was what? 50 million Biafrans voted in favor of restoring Biafra. To restore, to redeclare Biafra. When you redeclare something, it means that country is now functioning. You have brought back to life Biafra. And not only that, even though Simon Ekpa was not there with us, we saw the video where Simon Ekpa approved the creation of a four-man committee. We saw the video of Simon Ekpa approving the creation of a four-man committee to make sure that once Biafra is redeclared, this four-man committee, they will now come up with a new structure for the government of USB, United States of Biafra. So please be careful when people like this speak, because they will speak to you and they will turn your history. They will bamboozle you with words. Some of you, because he's a white man, you love your Jesus, you believe in Mary, you believe in the angels in heaven, you think God is white, you believe your father Abraham is white. So when a white man is speaking to you, you are already submissive. You are 80% submissive. You are happy. You are smiling. You feel good that a white man is speaking about the plight of the Biafrans. That's the problem some of you, your pastors, have put embedded in your mind, body, and soul. That when a white man is speaking, you are happy. You feel good. That he said all this nonsense, gibberish nonsense about Biafra not being a country now, not being a nation. There is no government as he claims, even though right now we have 40 governors in the land of Biafra. Even though Ogenkide was given 15 million naira to design and, oh my God, the uniforms of the police of Biafra. But he will tell you, there is no government. There is no country yet. So what we went to redeclare on the 29th of November to the 3rd of December was just a jamboree. He's leaning towards what Ogenkere said, that we should go to Finland just to go and have a good time, a feel-good time, a jamboree, to party, to marry, to meet ourselves, take pictures, drink beer, drink spirit and alcohol. Do not redeclare Biafra. Some said we must not redeclare Biafra. Today he's speaking in that language, telling you all Biafrans that we don't have a country nor a government. You see me, when I have time for these guys, they are so lucky. Hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, my schedule will now come down, because now my workload is out of the roof. I don't have time. I'm just doing some makeshift videos here and there. I don't have time. But soon and very soon, these guys will be chopping the water. Video for video, I'll be exposing them. So now, Elias Gerasoulis is telling you, the Biafrans, the 80 million Biafrans, that what we went to do in Finland was a waste of time. We don't have a country. We don't have a government. We don't have a country. We don't have a government. Let's take it back. Listen to him again, please.
I've been very busy the past month, but I'm returning to doing my videos and will be doing so with more frequency.
Okay.
I think this episode will be one that'll be extremely helpful for all of you. And this episode will be focused on an important topic, which is explaining or clarifying the roadmap to Biafra. One of the major issues that I realized that I anticipated before the convention in Finland, and we saw in the aftermath of the convention, is that unfortunately there was not a complete understanding amongst some Biafrans of the purpose of the convention, understanding what is the United States of Biafra, and understanding what the Biafra government is doing. I had concerns even before the November 29th to December 2nd convention in Finland. And I expressed these to Simon at the time, that some Biafrans really didn't understand the meaning of December 2nd or United States of Biafra, or the processes that the Biafra government was doing, and that the Biafra government needed to do more to explain that process to Biafrans. And Simon did, in his speeches and such, touch upon some of these topics. But it was clear that many still lacked understanding. For example, after the convention, I received some very angry messages that showed this lack of understanding. Some Biafrans attacking me, saying, "Oh, don't you know we're a nation now?" Even some attacking me, saying, "Don't you know we're a government now?" Which again doesn't make any sense.
Boom. Some attacking him in a message. They always come with that. Oh, some people were attacking me. Don't you know we're a nation now? Don't you know we are a government now? And he's saying to him, it makes no sense. This is the clever way they put it. They will always speak about a third party. Some people were attacking me. Some were messaging me. Don't you know we are a government now? Don't you know we have a nation now? But to him, what we were saying makes no sense. It means we don't have a government. We don't have a nation. What we have is Biafra Republic government in exile. We are still on exile, according to him. Even though all the 40 states in Biafra, they have their governors now. They have their governors and the rest of them. But to him, no. Ignore that thing happening there. Don't believe Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the one they told to protect the mandate. Don't believe that one, the one they told to be the surrogate of Simon Ekpa. Do not believe her. You have no country, you have no government. It is absolutely nonsense, ludicrous for you to assume you have a country redeclared, not a government. You see, people like me, now we sabi catch men like this. Some of you, when you hear them, you felt so good. The feel-good factor. Oh, I'm hearing the voice of Jesus. That's the problem I have with your pastors. Some of you in that zoo, your pastors have made you to lose the ability to reason. Especially in the Catholic Church, where the priest, when they are white, people, they feel good. When your priest is white, you have this feel-good factor. At the end of the Sunday, you are going home. You look strong. You feel hale and hearty. You feel spiritual. You felt you have gone to heaven and come back because your priest who gave the sermon was a white priest. I know the game now. I was an altar boy for so many years. And when the priest was a Yoruba man, because then in Lagos, the priest is either a Biafran man or a Yoruba man. When it's a Yoruba man or a Biafran man, people say, where is the white priest now? Where is the Father James now? Where is the Father, Philip? We miss him. When is he coming back? I know the psychology, it's ingrained in us. That blue eyes, that pale skin, I know the psychology. You want to go to heaven to meet a white Jesus. If I tell you your Jesus is a black man, if I tell you that your Jesus came from the Eritrea area, you will get angry. I did my research. There was no letter J 600 years ago. What you call Jesus, his name is Yeshua. Jesus. J, there was no J back then. What you call Jerusalem, the real name is Jerusalem. Till this day, go and do your research. Go to Eritrea. You will see people bearing the name Jerusalem. Why? Not J. There was no J, no letter J 600 years ago. So when I went, in fact, let me not go deeper. Let's focus on this video because some of you are not ready yet. You ain't ready for that kind of discussion. Let's continue on this one. He's telling you now that we have no government and we have no, country. Going to Finland was a waste of time. We just went for a fun fair, a feel-good factor to go and have fun. What we said we redeclared was nothing, was just a jamboree. A feel-good factor. Take it back. Watch the psychology now. Watch the psychology. Let's listen.
Understand the meaning of December 2nd or United States of Biafra or the processes that the Biafra government was doing.
Listen.
And that the Biafra government needed to do more to explain that process to Biafrans. And Simon did, in his speeches and such, touch upon some of these topics. But it was clear that, many still lacked understanding.
Listen.
For example, after the convention, I received some very angry messages that showed this lack of understanding. Some Biafrans attacking me saying, oh, don't you know we're a nation now?
Okay.
Even some attacking me saying, don't you know we're a government now?
Okay.
Which, again, doesn't make any sense. The Biafra Republic government in exile was created in the spring of 2023. So are those who were saying that the Biafra government...
Hold on. Do you see that smirk in his face? You see that smirk in his face? That's, giving you that gesture like, wow, this is strange. You are still in Biafra Republic government in exile. Those who say fallback, he's leaning towards the fallback team. We don't have a country. We don't have a government. We still are under Biafra Republic government in exile. So the votings we had, the election was useless, was null and void, was just, a useless activity. If you leave it to this guy, all what we've been doing all this while was a waste of time. Fall back to Brgie. But during the days of autopilot, when we went to Helsinki and redeclared or established the Biafra Republic government in exile, the IPOB autopilot became null and void. It means, say, it can't end. We rest them there. It was buried. We stopped referring to ourselves as what? IPOB autopilot. But today, he's telling you, the activities of 50 million Biafrans voting for the redeclaration of Biafra is nonsense. But when Britain, they voted for them to leave the EU, Brexit, after the voting, after the election, automatically Britain left the EU. The next stage was just the process. Documentations, legal frameworks, and other things that they need to, sort out. And to today, Britain is now what? Out of the EU. The same thing here. In Biafra, we have redeclared Biafra on the 29th of November 2024. The process now is to what? To implement Biafra. That's all we are doing. That's the process we are doing so far. We've established the governments and the governors for each state. We now have a decentralized military and the rest in Biafra land. But if you leave it to this man, what we are doing now is just nonsense. No. You are wasting your time, okay? It is Brgie. You are still on a government in exile and the rest of them. My God, I feel like laughing, but I don't want to laugh. Because what this guy is saying is baloney, nonsense. But when I speak now, those that love Jesus, those that believe Jesus is white, you'll be angry with me that I'm speaking this way to this man. That's the problem with you guys. Some of you in that zoo, your mind frame, you see somebody from Lebanon, you bow down. A Lebanese, you see an Indian man, you bow down. But here, an Indian man can't even speak to me. A Lebanese is, the lowest class in the Western world. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm calling a spade here. But in that zoo called Nigeria, a Lebanese will tell a policeman to slap a Nigerian. A person that calls himself Nigerian, the police will shoot you and buy you, nothing will happen. You see the Lebanese, you respect them, you bow to them. Even Indians have more right. The Chinese, we saw them sharing money to your policemen and they were videoing them. Your policemen, they stood on a formation while the Chinaman and his daughter was sharing them money. You also saw the video and you felt it was good. Ordinary, a Chinaman used to be referred to as the yellow man back in the days. Before the economy of China became great, the Western world, they were referring to the Chinese as the yellow man. There was a musician known as King Yellow Man. It's a way to, to show the Western world what they were doing to China was not nice. He said, okay, you call the Chinese the Yellow Man. I am the King Yellow Man. But today, in that so-called Nigeria, even the Chinese has more right than a so-called Nigerian. Those from Lebanon, they have more right than the so-called Nigerian. Those from India, they have more right than the so-called Nigerians in Nigeria. Hence, when you hear this man speak, the psychology ingrained in your brain, in your mind, body, and soul will make you to believe him. I'm here to dispel that notion, to let you know that the white man's ice is not colder as you think. So what he's saying here is absolute nonsense, baloney. To say we don't have a nation or a government, what this man is saying is baloney, nonsense. And he has gone again beyond the scope of the job we gave him, which was why I described the meaning of a scope in a contract. You were contracted to be our eyes in Washington, to lobby for us in Washington. But today, you have left that scope and you are here to educate us that we don't have a country, we don't have a government. We are still in Brgie, which means fall back to Brgie. Fellow Biafrans, follow who no road, though. Follow who no road. I've been telling you guys, follow who no road. Follow who no road. Let's continue.
Before the convention was in the government. So it shows that there's a complete lacking of understanding. So I'm hoping that through this communication, we can bridge that gap and help get clarity for those who don't have that clarity. Because I always had the concern, even before the convention, that some of the Biafrans who didn't understand exactly what the government is doing to achieve the goal of nationhood would have their own emotional fantasies that after December 2nd, on December 3rd, Biafra would descend from the sky and that's it. So I'm going to put this in such a way that's easy to understand for all Biafrans, and even those out there who are the most clueless will understand the process.
Wow.
So
what an insult.
What is the goal, right? When we talk about United States of Biafra, what is the United States of Biafra? Our goal is to establish a Biafran nation state one that has full control of its territory, exercises full sovereignty, and as a nation is therefore recognized by the international community. How do we go about that? An acronym that I'm going to use that's going to make things very easy for you to understand is what I call the 3 R's. The 3 R's. The 3 R's being, number 1, redeclaration. Number 2, restoration. Number 3, recognition.
Listen.
The convention in Finland from November 29th to December 2nd was only one part of a multi-tiered process.
Listen.
The part of the problem is I think some Biafrans got so emotionally attached to December 2nd, emotionally attached to the convention, that in their own mind, they put everything else aside and they thought that the declaration itself was the end-all be-all, that we declare Biafra and that's it. Simon never said that.
Listen.
The government never said that. But I think some of you being so emotional and not really thinking logically and rationally and using your reasoning came to some different conclusion, ignoring a lot of the things that Simon was telling you.
Listen.
Because of your own emotions and what have you. The purpose of the redeclaration is to make it clear to the international community that we are pursuing the establishment of a Biafran nation state. After the declaration, or the redeclaration, from November 29th to December 3rd, with the declaration of Biafra on December 2nd,
Listen.
the next goal is to pursue full restoration. Because right now, the Biafran forces have some control of the territory, but they don't have full control of Biafran land territory. So the next goal is to achieve full sovereignty, which means full territorial control of Biafra by the Biafran forces on the ground. Finally, after you have a restoration where you are able to exercise full sovereignty, you've declared your intention to establish the Biafra nation state, the last step is recognition. Why is recognition important? If you don't have recognition, you're simply a self-governing territory. A case in point being Somaliland. They exercise full sovereignty, they have full control of their territory, they have their own government, they've had multiple elections, transitions of power, and so forth. But because they're not recognized as a country by any country in the international community, they are not able to have the full benefits of sovereignty.
Mr. Elias Gerasoulis, I hope you know. Do you understand that Biafra was once a nation? And that some countries recognized us as a nation? From the years of 1967 to 1970. And some of those countries, they have not withdrawn their recognition of Biafra. This is the problem. You see, when you allow these guys speak, they come here and, they beat about the bush, they paint a picture, a scenario, they speak with confidence, they speak with a smirk on their face, and you guys, you not say, oh, he's making sense. He just told you now that, oh, he's come up with his own 3 stages. Redeclaration, reconstruction, or whatever he's saying. He's following the school of thought of the one they call go on with one nation, Mr. Yakubu Go on. This is the problem. This guy has gone beyond his scope. He's now doing the job of the government, which is not right. Your job, your only contract, the reason why we contracted you, the only business we have with you is for you to be the eyes of the Biafrans. That's all we are saying. That's your job in Washington. Be our eyes, be our lobby, fellow Biafrans. That's why I said at the beginning of this video that when a contractor comes to you and tell you they have all the answers to your problem, be wary of such contractors. When a lobby firm, a lobby team came for you to solicit for you, you didn't ask for them You didn't inquire from them, hey, can you send me your resume? We want to see how well you are doing when it comes to lobbying. How many countries have you lobbied for? How many organizations have you lobbied for? We are a nation, we are trying to, we didn't do all that. He came to us. That's the problem. It means somebody may have sent him. A government may have sent him. To call a spade a spade, Nigeria may have sent him to slow down the activities of Simon Ekpa. That was the only mistake Obatobie made, or those who pushed this guy to Obatobie, because this man came by himself to us. You see me, man, my psychology is different to the way I'm wired, because I have worked with so many, oh my God, so many institutions in the Western world. I know their psychology. We've been on a round table. I was there, the only black man in the round table, and they said for India to remain in the green list zone, they must maintain their president by any means necessary. In the last election, if not, India would have been placed in the zone of countries that we have, concerns for. Countries with serious concerns. Pakistan is in that list. There are some places I cannot go to. If I need to go to those countries, things I have will have to be redone again. You will not understand that. I'll be careful not to go beyond that. But India would have been placed on the red list zone. Red list means those countries, they have been red listed. Countries like China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Russia. Belarus is close to Russia. Belarus. Countries around Russia, they are all in those red list zones. You see them? And we came, or at the end of the meeting, they came with the agreement that this is what the various governments are saying. And they've told Indian government that you must win the election by any means. You must be declared the president of India. If not, we're sorry, your country will be placed in the red list zone. We trust you, but not the other politicians in India. So do what you want to do. Do what you have to do. And maintain being the president of India. So when you see someone like this man saying, Emilio Khan, Tinubu was saying, Emilio Khan, he did what he did and the Western world, they didn't stop him. I hope now you have an idea why the Western world will not come to your rescue. Because in the League of Nations, that's where things happen. But when we are in our own meetings, sometimes we get, the business minutes, the minutes from the meeting of those guys, their agreements, what they've agreed to, say, oh, this will be this way. So when I hear, I say, wow. So really, your voting doesn't make sense. In India, when they are voting, they're wasting their time. They must make that man. Is it the prime minister or the president? I don't know. He must be the one. So he will do what he has to do to retain power. Same thing is happening in that so-called Nigeria. Peter Obi was wasting his time, with all due respect. Britain wanted the steady flow. But Britain was a bit fair. He told all of them, come on to me and tell me your plans. At the end, we shall have our candidates. They all went to where? Chatham House in London. Your so-called presidential aspirants, they left the shores of that so-called Nigeria. They went to abroad. They went to Britain, the home of their slave masters, the home of their colonizers, to make a speech, to do a presentation. There was Q&A at the end of their presentation. Fellow Biafrans, follow who no road. So what this guy is saying, for the fact he was the one that came to us, they call it a damage control to manage a situation. Oh, these guys, they are going, we must have an eye on these guys. What's going on here? Okay, send them a lobbyist and let the price he's charging be very, very cheap. It's a red flag that this guy came to us. We did not seek him. He came to us and say, I have a service to give you. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. In every organization, even in the days in Black America, the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, he will send spies to infiltrate a system, a movement. So for the fact we accepted this guy, he came to us and we accepted his service. That was the mistake we made. Obatobie, whoever told you that, oh, it's a good opportunity to work with this man, let us accept him. Yes, he's asking for 10,000. Don't worry, the money will come. We'll have the money to pay. Don't worry, Obatobie. That person, whoever told him, Obatobie, let us accept this guy, is okay. The money is there now. We will pay him. And his price is good though. 10,000 is very, very good though. Obatobie, this price is good though. Just 10,000. 10,000 is good though. Don't worry, I will pay the money now. I'm the money man. I'm the money man. I will pay it. Don't worry. But we need him as our lobbyist in Washington. He came to us. We are lucky. He likes us. But in economics, they tell you, the bakery man makes bread 6 a.m. in the morning. He's baking his bread for you, not because of he loves you, but because he's thinking of the money he will make off you before you start going to your work. You start your work 8 in the morning, and the bakery man wakes up around 6 a.m. to bake bread in the oven to sell. Not because he loves you, but he's thinking of how to make some money from you, from your pocket, before you go for work. So he'll make the bread. You will come by 7 a.m. to buy the bread and make your tea. You fry your egg and plantain with bread. You eat. You go to work. That way he has made his money off you before you even went to work. In economics. So when someone comes to you, take that thing, their proposal with a pinch of salt. It means with doubt. In things like this, you will be the one to go and solicit for the service of a lobbyist. He knows I'm talking the truth. Elias Gerasoulis knows he cannot fool me. I sabi them. I sabi the game. I've been in the mix of people like this when they're discussing. I know the game they play. They come to you, they come with all the good words, and you are happy. My God, this guy is God sent. Now God now send them. Thank Jesus. Glory be to God. Our God is good. He sent this man from nowhere. He was browsing the internet and he saw us. He saw Biafra Republic Government in Exile. He saw the website and he contacted us. God have mercy. Hey, Ebube. My people, in fact, I'll leave it here for now. I will leave it here for now. I will come back with part 2. I will leave it here for now because sometimes, I don't want to beat a dying horse. What he's saying makes no sense. I hope you guys understand me though. So let's allow him to play. Let him say what he wants to say. But I will come for a part 2. Just hear him say. Hear him speak.
For example, because they're not recognized as a country by the international community, whether it's the U.S. or the United Nations, other countries, they're not able to fully benefit, for example, from the international financial system. They're not able to get into certain programs, so on and so forth. That is why Somaliland is very aggressively pursuing its recognition. It's been undergoing an extremely intense lobbying campaign in the United States, and they have a lot of momentum. There's a very good chance that the Trump administration will recognize Somaliland as the newest nation in Africa. And Somaliland has offered very good terms to the United States in terms of military deals, defense deals, access to military bases and ports, etc. So that is what we're trying to achieve, and I think the way to envision it is And another attack, which never really made sense. And by the way, this is not personal to me. If Simon was not detained, some of these emotional Biafrans who didn't have any understanding of what I just explained to you would have attacked Simon in anger or in their emotions, not understanding what any of this is. So again, I'm not offended anyway. I know a lot of these attacks came out of emotion of not understanding the dynamics of how we're going to achieve Biafra. But it's our job as, let's say, a government or me as a lobbyist to explain this to you so you have that proper understanding and can have a conceptual basis for knowing exactly what it is that we're trying to achieve in our efforts. And so, that's really the key is to understand the 3 R's. I think I'm putting it in such a way that everyone out there is able to comprehend how it is and what it is that we're trying to achieve. And another analogy I'll use that'll be very helpful for you is, some people who were very upset with me after the convention, or not upset with me, but just upset generally, and then they externalize that anger into lashing out at me and other people, is I've received a lot of comments saying, "Oh, Elias, we're no longer Brgie, we are USB." Let me explain this to you. The United States of Biafra is the destination. What is United States Biafra? It's a fully established Biafran nation state that exercises full sovereignty, that has restored the control of the territory, and that is now recognized by the international community. That is the goal. USB is the goal. Brgie is the vehicle to get to the goal. Brgie is the vehicles, like Brgie is the car, USB is the destination. You're going to the destination. And for example, you have people in the other camp of Dr. Orabueze who've been who've seized on this and have weaponized this attack of, we're USB, we're no longer Brgie, but they registered this USB as a nonprofit entity in Georgia, and they're all still living in exile. So, that doesn't really make any sense. What USB is what I explained to you, is when Biafra is a fully established nation state recognized by the international community that has restored control of the territory. Just because we had the declaration of December 2nd doesn't mean that Brgie is somehow dissolved. Brgie will not be dissolved until we've at least achieved full restoration. Brgie will still continue to exist as the vehicle to achieve Biafran liberation. Once the territory is restored, then we could look at transitioning from Brgie to, let's say, a transitional government, a provisional government, so on and so forth. So I think part of the problem, and I do think this is an area where, frankly, the government could have done better, is that there's so much hype and so much promotion of December 2nd, December 2nd, December 2nd. There's not enough education about what December 2nd means, what United States of Biafra means, what all this means. And because of that lack of education, and because people were so emotionally hyped up, after December 2nd, people just became emotionally disoriented when they didn't see Biafra falling from the sky. But again, that's not something Simon ever said, but I think people just jumped into all sorts of conclusions based off of their emotions. I'll give you an example. One of my Biafran friends told me that she knew a gentleman who's a driver who has a truck, and this person told my friend, after December 2nd, Biafra is going to basically descend from the heavens. I'm going to sell everything that I have in the West, including my truck and everything, and I'm going to move back to Biafra land a month later in January 2025. And my friend had to explain to this gentleman, okay, just because we've had the declaration doesn't mean we've, after that, yet have achieved full sovereignty. What airport are you going to use? Isn't the airport that you're going to use to get over there into Biafra land still controlled by Nigeria? what about the village that you're from? And explain it to him and talk him out of this crazy
thing.
There,
right there. Can you see that same psychology? One of my friends told me this. He's going to sell his business, his truck, go to Biafra, and he's saying, oh, what about the airport? The same thing they've been saying all this while. Oh, Nigeria controls the airport now, all those things. It's a process. It's a process. We're in that process. A process is what? Continuum. We're in the process. But you see, this is psychology. They always come with the story of a third party. Somebody told me this. One of my friends told me this. One of my Biafran friends told me this. He is so lucky. I'm busy. I've got some tasks to do, so I'll allow him to flow, but I'll come back with part 2. Biafrans, I promise you on this one. I'll be back with part 2 to wrap this one up. But let's continue. Just listen.
Thinking about. And explain to him that you can only move back to Biafra once Biafra is at least fully restored. Then that's when you should go back. And was able to talk this gentleman out of, this harebrained idea that he had. But that's the problem. Is unfortunately some of the people in our movement are not able to think. Are not able to reason, don't have any understanding. So I think it's our job to help educate, to help enlighten Biafrans about all these different dynamics.
Look at the insult this guy is insulting you. Some of you don't have the, the wherewithal to think, to educate yourself, to reason. He's saying that. But this same guy have not spoken to Finland. He's not made a single video to address the government of Finland. But he's here addressing the 80 million Biafrans with ease. Finland is just a 5.6 million people in terms of, a population as small, as tiny as Delta State. Delta State is even, probably, twice the size of Finland. But this guy, he's so calmly, he feels so good, he feels so composed. Addressing 80 million Biafrans and speaking this way. That some of you are like minors, you are like infants. You need someone to speak for you because you don't have the ability to think, to reason. Hey, my God, have mercy. That's why I'm laughing. Some of you heard this stuff and you just uploaded the video and you were happy. You made no, review of what this man said. No rebuttal. You felt good. You thought he was speaking that good talk. No. The problem some of you have is that thing ingrained in your mind. That white Jesus. There's a reason why till this day in Africa, you go to every home that believe in, every Catholic, you see Mary is white, Jesus is white, and you feel it's okay. That's not a problem. That's the problem you guys have. Because if you change those pictures and you put a black Jesus and a black Mother Mary, now in your mind, body, in your subconscious, you start thinking, say, what's going on here? That's how they beat you in your own game, in your own space. They can defeat you because deep in your psychology, there is a virus in your system, in your brain, in your medulla, that you see them as being superior than you. When they speak, you listen and you obey. Lord have mercy. That's the problem. He's saying all this nonsense, but some of you were happy to upload it. The one that says, yesterday I was just watching her. She put this video there and she was smiling. She played the whole video without talking about it. That's the problem, because their IQ is low. Some of them, they don't know what they are doing. So they'll allow a man like this to come to insult you. He's the so-called lobbyist of the Biafrans. But Finland have charged Simon Ekpa. Till this day, go through his timeline. He's not done a video. I challenge you to make a video and address the president of Finland, the government of Finland. You can't. You can't, because you're all in it together. That's how I was able to tell whose team you are on or you are in. Whose team are you in? In my own side, we address Finland. In my own team, We expose the atrocities of Finland in my own side. We make sure we speak to the power, to the Finnish government. Alexander Stubb and the rest of them that he's after gas and oil contracts from Nigeria. Hence, he's doing the dirty jobs of the Nigerian government. But in your own side, you're asking us to fall back. You are telling us Biafra is not yet a country. You are saying we don't have a government. According to you, a lobbyist whose job, your only job, is to be in Washington. Have an eye, an asset for the Biafrans in Washington. We ain't friends. We ain't brothers or partners. It's a business. Look at Chagos Island. Their lobby firm, those guys are doing a great job. It is strictly business. They are doing the job, the bidding for the Chago Islands. And today, things are happening there. But you've left the job we gave you. If at all, that contract is still, running. We gave you a job to be our eye in Washington, to lobby for us with those in the government in Washington. But you've left all that. You have come here and you are doing a lecture to address with the Biafrans. Elias, you're a lucky man. I'm very busy. Today is Monday, fellow Biafrans. So I will leave it here. But I promise to be back for a part 2. Someday I'll be back for part 2. I will revisit this video and expose the loopholes and the weaknesses of what this man is saying. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless Biafra. Yeah, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.